What is up, guys? Rick Cacus here, and this is the Nightfall Gold Tier Guide, showcasing not only how to complete this week's Nightfall from January 3rd to the 10th, but also some tips for getting the most points possible to hopefully get the Gold Contender medal and complete the Sunrise Bounty from Zavala. Doing so will give you a chance to get the exotic Icebreaker Sniper Rifle. So let's get started with this week's Nightfall modifiers. Firstly, we have Specialist. Your special weapon is going to be doing massively more damage, so it's a very important part of your build. Moving on, we have Chaff. Your radar is disabled. After that, we have Match Game. If an enemy has a shield and you're shooting it with the wrong elemental type, it's going to do a lot less damage than it normally would. And lastly, we have Airborne. You do more damage while in the air. Now let's talk about my recommended builds. Firstly, there is no elemental burn. There's no void burn, solar burn, or anything like that. So the specific subclass you choose isn't that huge of an issue here. You can pretty much pick your favorite one. However, because of the match game modifier, I would highly recommend that you have all three elemental damage types present in terms of possible damage outputs. What I mean by that is that I'm playing a striker, so arc damage is covered with my abilities like my melee and my grenades and my super, and then I have a solar sniper and I have a void heavy machine gun. All three elements in terms of output are covered. If I encounter a guy with a big arc shield, I can utilize my abilities. If I encounter void, which is going to be very common, that is because the current strike for this Nightfall is the Siva-fied Shadow Thief strike. So you're going to encounter a lot of Siva captains with void shields. Now, in terms of specific weaponry, however, in terms of your primary weapon, I went with the Outbreak Prime. Good all around and actually does bonus damage against Fallen, which of course, because of the strike, is going to come up all the time. Tanix himself is Fallen. You could also choose the Zalo Supercell. That's going to let you have arc covered in your primary weapon and then be a lot more loose when you're covering that damage in terms of your subclass or other weapons. For your secondary weapon, because Specialist is on, it is very important, as I've mentioned before, I use the Ex Machina Raid Sniper Rifle. In fact, this Nightfall is a great time to break out all of your raid stuff. The Ex Machina has the intrinsic perk Whirlwind's Curse, which makes it do bonus damage against Fallen. Again, perfect in this strike, and it's just overall a very, very good sniper rifle. A powerful secondary is really what you want. Moving on to armor, it's really up to you. I use the Armamentarium chest piece to just give myself an extra grenade and more so cover myself in dealing arc damage. You can use, again, pretty much whatever you're most comfortable with. However, I would highly recommend using the raid gauntlets if you have them. Those are going to make fallen enemies drop heavy more often, which, again, you're fighting a ton of fallen, so it's a great time to break them out and actually get some use out of them in this Nightfall. Now let's move on to the complete walkthrough. The first thing you're going to have to do is make your way through the underground hive complex and actually get to the portal that teleports you to Tanix's ship. Now, the thing is that you're going to encounter a few enemies off the start, a bunch of cursed thralls, but you also have some turrets to deal with. You really need to be on top of these turrets. They absolutely melt you if you don't take them down quickly. This opening area that you uncover, however, is filled with enemies that give you points. You may want to stick around just a little bit and potentially kill the enemies in here if you're at all worried about getting enough points. And in fact, as you'll see as the video progresses, we did have a little bit of a problem with getting enough points. So you don't have to kill every enemy in this area, but consider throwing some grenades and getting some free points as you pass by. Moving on, you're going to have your first Tanix encounter. You're going to have to kill a bunch of Siva Fallen, and then once you've killed enough, Tanix will come down to see what's up. You do some damage to him, he teleports away like the little biatch he is, and you follow him. Again, again, make sure to not get overzealous in this part. You can easily stick to the back and take down all of the enemies from afar and have magnificent cover. You can really just back up and get completely behind cover whenever you need to in this encounter. Don't be a complete dingus like me, go out too far, get sniped in the head, and then you gotta get revived. There's really no reason to do that. Stick to the back if you're having trouble. Now after you teleport up into Taniks' ship, you're going to be presented with this open area. It has you wound Taniks as you also fight several other Siva enemies. Don't forget to kill these additional enemies. It's very easy to get lost in the fact that you're doing like 40,000 damage with your Ex Machina on Taniks, and yes, it's a glorious thing, but if everyone on your team aims down sights and just tries to go to town on Taniks, yes, you're going to do a lot of damage, but you're going to zoom out and see, 3 Splicer Vandals right up in front of you, and that can definitely cause some issues. So don't get lost scoping in trying to damage Taniks as much as you can. You have plenty of time to damage him. In fact, if you damage him too quickly, he just becomes immune for a decent amount of time and keeps shooting you, which is kind of annoying. But again, make sure to not just focus on him. You need to clear out the ads as well. You also want those points, so consider taking out, the first initial wave of ads, getting all those points, and then damaging him to ensure you trigger all of the ads in this area. Moving on from there, however, we do have the fight against the Siva tank. This is kind of problematic, actually. It was for our team for sure, because we killed it so damn fast. I mean, you'll see in the background gameplay, we absolutely melt this tank like shockingly fast. Almost as fast as Ryan's date night. Ayo! Someone named Ryan is gonna be like, wait, what did I do? anyways. In all seriousness, you don't want to kill this tank as fast as we did. We nearly didn't get to gold mode. We really had to worry about getting that gold contender medal because we killed this tank so fast and kind of ignored the ads. You have substantial chance for farming. You have a lot of ads that spawn, but you're going to need to take it somewhat slow. Damage the tank by all means, but let it come back up. Don't kill it in one damage phase like we did. Again, let it come back up. That'll spawn more ads. You can get more points, and then you won't have to be stressing out in the final boss fight like my team certainly was. In any event, during this Siva tank fight, you really want to stick to the back left-hand corner of this arena. And that's just because the tank can't shoot you and all of the ads have to travel substantial distances in order to get to you. Don't get overzealous and try to get right up into the tank or in the tunnels because you will just meet your end via exploder shanks. It's best to take it slow. Your secondary weapons are going to be doing absolutely phenomenal damage, so you can kill this in one phase again, but you really want to do it in two. You won't really have to spend too much time farming ads. Moving on, however, you have to follow Taniks through some tunnels, and then we arrive at the final boss fight. Now, the mechanics of this boss fight are as such. Firstly, Taniks is going to spawn in and allow you to damage him. After doing a certain amount of damage, he's going to gain a protective overshield, making him literally invincible. Nothing you can do at that point can actually damage him. There's then going to be also a bunch of Siva clusters that spawn all around this arena. Once you destroy all of these Siva clusters, you're going to lower his invincibility shield, and that's going to allow you to damage him again. Now, whenever he gains his shield, so when he gains that invincibility shield, it says he's regained his power down in the text box in the bottom left corner. It's also going to spawn a bunch of ads. If you are looking low on points, like again my group certainly was, you're going to want to make the most of these mechanics, and how you do that is that you don't damage him too much. Just use your primaries or what have you, and as his health slowly goes down, he's going to go through as many phases as possible. Again, every time he gets his shields back, it spawns a bunch of ads, which you can kill for more points. With that being said, if you spent a little bit more time on the Siva tank and you're doing pretty well for points, if you've already gotten the gold contender or silver contender medal already, you may want to just melt the crap out of him, and you can do that pretty damn easily with your sniper rifles. Now, if you're having a little bit of trouble with this boss fight and you want to know a great place to hold out, there's an elevated platform that is on the opposite side of the arena as the entrance is, and you'll see me go up here a couple of times. It has staircase leading up to it, and it has some large panels on the side that you can hide behind to avoid any shots directly from Taniks. The ads really seem to not go up here as well. They may pressure you, but it's going to be pretty limited, and from this location you can peer over whenever you want to, whenever you have full health, and absolutely go to town on Taniks or whatever ads you want. The only bad part about this location is that you're very unlikely to be able to shoot all of the Siva nodes to take down his shields from this one location. You'll have to leave and go on the other side of a piece of cover or what have you to actually take down all of those Siva nodes. Follow these tips and you should be able to complete this week's Nightfall and achieve that gold tier ranking. That's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed and found this helpful. Now, if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny content from me, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. And also press the bell beside subscribe to be notified of new uploads. If you guys want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can also follow. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.